Annie Ham represents McCall Farms over in Effingham, which is a place where they put foods up so fresh and fast it just boggles your mind. And that really is local South Carolina food for the most part, and sometimes in the neighboring states. Tell me how fast y'all get that into the can?
Well, most of our vegetables that we harvest locally are in the can within 4 to 5 hours. All of our peanuts, as you know, are grown in South Carolina, so those all get in the can very, very quickly. The same thing can be said for our greens and many of our root vegetables, such as sweet potatoes.
And also, I think one of the things that happens is because of the very quick processing time, travel and processing time, the nutrients are still at a very high level. Am I correct in that?
That's correct. That's correct. We are able to pick our vegetables at the peak of ripeness. And when we get them in the can quickly, it retains all of those nutrients, even a lot better than what you might find in the fresh produce section in your grocery store, because a lot of those vegetables have been sitting around for quite some time.
That's true. Well, and y'all are an old company. How long have y'all been in business?
We've been around since 1838
okay.
And have been canning since the 1950s.
Well, y'all are a major part of South Carolina, and so many meals are focused on some of the wonderful things y'all put together. And you've got a new recipe for us tonight.
I am going to be making our sweet potato bread, which is with our Bruce's yams. And as we mentioned earlier, this is something that we are actually going to start producing here in South Carolina for the first time this year.
Excited.
And we are as well. We are in the midst of getting that going right now. We've been doing that expansion for some time.
Okay.
And so I'm going to show you tonight how to make it a sweet potato bread. And this is really a wonderful thing to have for this time of year when children are going back to school.
That's
and
right.
You want to give them something that's filling and nutritious to have for breakfast.
Well, let's learn how easy it is.
And it's real simple, right? All we're going to do is start out with about 1 1/4 cups of sugar.
All right.
We'll combine that with 1/3 cup of vegetable oil.
That's easy. We don't even have to melt anything.
That's right.
Oh, I like
this is
already.
very simple. And
okay.
then I've got a couple eggs here that I've gone ahead and mixed up.
Okay. Well, I'll
So
stir
you
for you. I can do that while you talk.
All right. And while
Not that you can't multitask. But
okay. And as you're doing that, I've got a.
She's probably scared to let me stir after what just happened.
I've got some flour here. It's just all-purpose flour. 1 1/4 cups of flour here.
So we had 1 1/4 cups of sugar and 1 1/4 cups of flour.
That's right.
Okay,
that's
great.
right. And then this is a mixture of some baking soda, some salt, and cinnamon and nutmeg.
Oh, so we can enhance that wonderful flavor of the sweet potatoes.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. So while you're mixing the wet,
Okay.
I'll mix the dry together. Okay. And then we're going to combine the two. So I'll dump this in here.
Okay. Dump away.
If you want to stir that.
I'll try to do it without making a dust storm.
Along with some water.
Okay. How much water did we put in?
This is 1/3 cup of
water.
water.
1/3 cup. Okay.
That's correct. All right. So when you get that ready,
okay, I'm trying to get
we've got the sweet potatoes here, and I went ahead and opened up 1 1/2 cans of, and this is using the small cans you see here.
Okay.
I think they're right there. And 1 1/2 cans of our sweet potatoes, and we went ahead and mushed them up a little bit.
Now, sweet potatoes are just full of all kinds of things that are good for you, aren't
Oh, they are. Vitamin A, vitamin C, and beta-carotene.
And fiber.
That's right.
They say that, that's something that, sometimes we forget about, but that's it's amazing to me that as sweet and tender as the sweet potato is, that it's got such a high fiber content. Okay, I think we're ready for this.
All right, so I'm going to mix this in. And then, if you want to stir that up.
So if your children eat this, they have no excuse for not seeing the board because it's got all that vitamin A that's good for your eyesight, right?
That's right, that's right. And if you like, you can add a little bit of pecans as well. About a 1/2 cup.
Yeah.
So I'll dump those in there.
And Mark Arena is now our state pecan expert. Mark's on the show a lot, and
good.
He says that pecans actually have more of all those wonderful things that you like to have in nuts than any other nut. And here it is, a great South Carolina certified product.
Perfect.
Okay.
Good.
Well, does that look like it's about ready to go?
That's all set.
Okay,
and
well, that's
now,
been pretty easy so far.
The last step is just to put it into a greased pan here.
All right.
And we're going to, if you want to go ahead, I can help you with that, or you got it. And it's going to cook at 350 degrees for about 40 minutes, 40 to 50 minutes. And it smells wonderful when it's cooking.
It already smells good now. Okay. So far, so good.
So we're all set.
Now this is what you have to. Oh. Did y'all, when we were little, we used to ask our mom if we could lick the spoon. Did y'all do that too?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to pop this in 350 for about 40 minutes or so.
40 to 50 minutes, that's
and
right.
hopefully, when it comes out, oh, Annie, this just looks wonderful. What a beautiful presentation.
Well, it's a very moist,
Moist.
cake, and you can add a little bit of powdered sugar to the top if you want, but it's really perfect like it is.
And so easy to send to lunch in school boxes or to take to work for your snack when you have your coffee in the morning. Yeah.
Definitely.
And I feel like that it's a really healthy thing. We've got minimal sugar. You don't have to ice it, and it really is made with such great ingredients.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, we're going to come back a little later and find out all the contact information for you and your wonderful operation over at McCall Farms and how we can get our hands on this recipe.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for making the trip over, and thank y'all for growing sweet potatoes and all the other wonderful products you do. Y'all give so many South Carolina farmers an outlet for their crops, and we do appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Thanks for coming.